Hi guys, I'm Joyce, and today we're going to learn how to play chess. Today all we're going to learn is the basics of chess. Okay, so this is the chessboard. It has green squares and white squares, right? Green and white, and they're all in a pattern, right? Do you realize that if you look at the side of it, there's letters 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on the bottom there's letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so that's the chessboard. Okay, so have you ever seen another person play chess? If yes, that's great. If no, that's okay. I'm going to teach you how to play. So, as you know, there's black and white pieces in chess. Okay? And then you just set them on the board. And then you can watch as I set the pieces up. Oh. Okay, so this is how you set the pieces up of chess. Before the game, that's how you start. Before you start playing, that's how you set. So as you see, there's different shapes of the pieces. Every single piece, almost, has a different shape, okay? So today we're just going to learn how the pieces, what shape is what piece, and how they move, okay? So first, we're going to learn about the pawn. This is what a pawn looks like. It's kind of like a soldier. If you really look like in a castle and a palace where there's a king and a queen, that's kind of like a soldier. It looks like there's a little white ball on top. And then for the game, you set them on the second row. Okay? And good question if you ask, how do they move it? So, you might want to remember this, but the pawn can move 2 spaces up for the first move. So it's here, right? You can move 2 spaces up, 1 and 2. But after you've moved after you've done the first move, you can only move 1. You can only move 1. So first, I go there, and then after that, I can only go 1. Not 2, just 1, okay? So remember, it goes on the second row. The black pawns go here on the second row. Okay? The next piece we're going to learn is the king. Now we can learn the queen together. So that's the queen. Looks like there's like this small dot on top. Okay, like that little dot. And there's like this like kind of like a scarf around it, right? That's the queen. Okay? And this is the king. It has this plus sign. And there's also a dot on top. That's the king. So compare. Right? It's different, right? And then where do you place it on the board? Good question. This, the white queen, goes on the white square. It has to be on the white square because it's a white queen. It has to go on a white square, so it goes there. Then the white king goes right next to it. Not here, but here. Like that. Okay? And then the next piece we're going to learn is the bishop. This is called a bishop. As you see, there's this crack or line in between. Okay, there's also this little dot, and it's, so like, look at the shape. Okay? And then you put it right, so the king and queen were here, so you put it right next to it. It's kind of like the servants of the king and queen. And in chess, there are two bishops in one color. Okay? So right now we're just going to put one. Okay? And then the next thing is that we're going to learn is the rook. You can memorize this piece very easily because it has this horse. And it's called a knight. It's called a knight. So this is a knight. Okay? Because if you look at really like a king's palace, all the knights usually ride horses, right? So this is called a knight. It goes right beside the bishop, like that. Okay? And then we're going to learn about the rook. Okay? So there are two rooks in the game of chess. They look like a castle on top. Because castles have like these little gaps, you might say, and they go on the very outside, like that. They go on the corners, okay? And the black pieces go in the same places as the king and queen. And then remember I said earlier that the pawns are kind of like the soldiers. So they just go on the outside of the pieces. And there are 8 pawns, which means there are 8 rows up and down. Okay? So the whole pieces of chess look like that. Okay? And then the black pieces go on the same place, except it's just on the other half of the board. It's the same. You can watch me set up. Go get a drink or something if you want to. And remember, the queen, because it's black, goes on the black spot, right next to the king. And then the pawn goes on the outside of every piece, and that's the knight. This is the rook. There's 2 rooks. And then here's the bishop. Goes right there. And these are the last 2 pawns. So remember earlier in the video, I showed you guys these. That's how you set them up. Okay, now we're going to learn how each piece moves, right? Because when you play chess, if the pieces don't move, how are they going to play? They're just stand there. Stand there, right? So we're going to learn how they move next. Okay? So I'm going to take some of the pieces off. So we already learned the pawn, right? But we're just going to review. So here's a board of chess. Say the pawn started here. Okay? It can move 2 spaces forward. So it's here. 2 spaces forward, on the first move only, but you can also move first. It depends on whatever you want. And then, but after it makes its first move, it can only go one time. So wherever it is, it can only go one space, okay? One space. So first it was here, then it goes two, and then after that, the black pieces go one turn, and then this goes one up. Okay? So that's how it moves. Pawn. Every pawn is the same, except I just didn't put all the pawns up here. Okay? And then we're gonna learn how the rook moves. Okay? How the rook moves. The one that looks like a castle. But don't say it as a castle because it's called a rook. R-O-O-K. Okay? So remember, they go on the corners of the chessboard. Okay, I'm just going to put one. And then, look at it. The rook. So there's the castle. Because usually the castle parts of castle parts of castle, like the parts that look like this, are usually on the corners, right? So this is on the corners, this piece, okay? And then, how does it move? Good. I'm going to explain that. So here's a rook. Say the game has started and black has moved. Okay? This goes, it can go anywhere, just straight. It cannot go diagonal. It can only go straight. Anywhere. How many spaces? It does not matter. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. And then, as you can see, the rook can move down. How many spaces? Does not matter. It can move down 8 spaces. Say I was here. It can move here, here, down, sideways. It can move sideways, any space, it doesn't matter, and it can move up and down any space. Okay? So that's how the rook moves. Now we're going to learn about the knight. Okay? You can remember it as a horse, but it's not called a horse. It's called knight. Okay? So, the knight, remember, starts here. And this is very important. You want to remember this, okay? Okay? And then the knight. Yeah, the knight moves very specially. It doesn't move just like that or like that or like that. It moves like forward. Well, forward, yes, but it's in a different forward way. So this is how it goes. It goes 1, 2, and then turn. So I see. 1, 2, turn. Okay? So it can, say it's here. It goes 1, 2, turn. It can also go 1, 2, turn. Or it can go 1, 2, turn. It can go 1, 2, turn. Okay? So there's numerous ways the knight can move. It just depends on what place it is at, okay? Okay? So over here, okay? My little sister is here. Okay? So say the rook is here. It can either go 1, 2, turn, right? And can it go 1, 2, turn? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, good. But can it go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, turn? No. Good. Can it go 1, 2, 3, 4, turn? No. Can it go 1, 2, turn? Yes. Can it go 1, 2, turn? No. Think about it again. 1, 2, turn. Yes. Okay, good. That was just a little test. And then, now we're going to learn about that bishop. Yeah, this is like a little face because he has a little mouth. Okay. And then the bishops go here. In chessboard, okay? Okay, so it moves like this. It can move diagonally. But if it's on a... Where's the other bishop? See? So if it's on a white square, then it can only go in white squares. It can go sideways, or you can say diagonally. It can go how many spaces it wants to. But it can only go like that. It can't go straight. It has to go sideways or diagonally, okay? But you see this bishop is on a black square, right? Then it can only stay on black squares, okay? It doesn't matter how much it goes. Just for example, it goes here. Then it can go here. It doesn't matter how many. It can go here, here, and here. It doesn't matter how many. Okay, so that's done. Oh yeah, and quick thing about the knight. So the knight, remember, it can go 1-2 turn, right? So say there's this pawn in front of it, but it tried to go 1-2 turn. How do they do that? It can skip, but it can't skip like 4 and go here and then just go there. It has to go still 1, 2, 3, 1-2 turn, 1, 2 turn, like that. 1, 2 turn. Okay, that's how you do it. Then, do we have anything left?
Yeah.
Yes, the king. So first we're going to learn the king, the one that has a plus sign on top with the dot. Since it's a white piece, it goes on a black square, like that. And then it moves like this. It can go like this. It can go. So say the king has been a game and it's been moving around the board and it ends up here. It looks like it can't go really much spaces, right? Right? If you think so. So the king is in this black square, right? It doesn't matter if it's in a black or white, it's okay. So you see around it, it kind of makes like a square, right? Like that, and then like go up and go down, right? Right? It's like that, right?
Can you tell us something?
Okay. So it kind of makes a square, right? So that's how it goes. It can go anywhere like that, but just one spot. Like one, here, 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 here. It can go any space around it. But it can only go one time. So it can't go all the way down here. And then it goes all the way down here. And then it goes all the way down here. No, it can only go one time. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just one time, okay? Then we're going to learn about the queen. Where's the queen? Where's the queen? Where'd you put it? Okay, so we're going to learn about the queen. So I'm going to test you guys. What does it have? It has like this scarf around it, right? And since it's a white piece, it goes on a white square, right? Right? So say it's been moving around, and it ends up here. And it ends up here. It can go anywhere, the same as the king around it. But it's different from the king. It can move no matter how many spaces, it's okay. It can go like diagonally, it doesn't matter whatever squares. Say it's been here. It can go all the way across the board to here. Say it's here. It can go across the board all the way here. And say it's here. It can go down. How many spaces? I don't care. Neither does she. So that means you can go how many spaces? It doesn't matter. So it can also go here all the way across the board. But it doesn't have to. It can just go 3 times. Or it can just go 4 times. Or it can just go 4 times. Or it can just go 7 times. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay? So that's all we're going to learn today. And I hope you guys check out my second video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye.